Many people still believe that having eggs for breakfast is the perfect choice, simple, nutritious, and completely safe for health. However, after the age of 60, the body undergoes major changes in metabolism, circulation, and cardiovascular function, which means that even a small habit in the way eggs are prepared or eaten can quietly cause harm. The consequences go beyond losing morning clarity. They can weaken the heart, increase the risk of atherosclerosis, and even take away the precious years you want to spend with your children and grandchildren. In reality, millions of people over 60 unknowingly repeat mistakes with eggs every year. These mistakes seem harmless, but accumulate silently day after day, leading to troubling symptoms such as ongoing fatigue, reduced focus, memory decline, and in some cases, a sudden heart attack, when it is already too late to act. Have you ever asked yourself if you or your loved ones are maintaining these seemingly harmless morning habits? You may feel fine, still working, talking, and living your daily life, but inside your heart and blood vessels are under far more strain than you realize. Do not let priceless moments with your family slip away because of poor nutrition choices and a lack of awareness about the long-term effects of these everyday meals. Based on the latest research from Harvard Health, I will break down 4 common but dangerous mistakes with eggs that many people over 60 continue to make without realizing it. This information will not only help you better understand the link between diet and heart health, but also give you the tools to protect your brain sharpness, maintain daily energy, and reduce the risk of life-threatening events such as heart attack so you can live healthier, live fully, and enjoy more peaceful moments with your loved ones. Why can eggs be harmful? Many people over 60 enjoy choosing eggs for their meals because they believe eggs are an excellent choice for health. Eggs are rich in protein, easy to prepare, and fit most tastes. But what they don't realize is that eggs can also become a major risk factor for health. The real concern is not the egg itself, but the way we cook it and what we combine it with every day. For example, many Americans start their mornings with fried eggs served alongside sausage or bacon, paired with white bread and a cup of creamy coffee. It sounds familiar, convenient, and delicious. Yet this very breakfast is quietly fueling chronic inflammation, disrupting the balance between omega-6 and omega-3, and raising harmful LDL cholesterol. These are direct triggers that increase the risk of heart attack and memory decline. Multiple studies from Mayo Clinic and other U.S. health organizations have shown that a breakfast high in saturated fat can trigger inflammatory responses, impair blood circulation, and negatively affect memory. So, how can eggs be eaten the right way after 60 to still support heart health? Stay tuned for the next part to discover the changes you can start making as early as tomorrow morning. Frying eggs with inflammatory oils. Many middle-aged and older adults in America begin their day with a frying pan and 2 eggs. But few realize that the pan itself, if filled with the wrong oil, can silently ignite inflammation inside the body. Vegetable oils, canola oil, or margarine may look harmless, but in reality they act like a hidden fuse feeding long-term internal damage. These oils are high in omega-6, and when omega-6 greatly outweighs omega-3, it creates the perfect environment for chronic inflammation to develop, much like dry grass catching fire from a single spark. Have you ever felt stiff joints in the morning, fatigue even after a full night's sleep, or heavy circulation when moving around? These are not just signs of aging. They are the result of a slow process in which unhealthy fats coat blood vessels like rust building up inside water pipes, narrowing the flow, raising blood pressure, and forcing the heart to work harder with every beat. Imagine your arteries as pipelines. If buildup continues inside, sooner or later the flow will be blocked, and the heart, as the pump, will be the first to fail. A study from Harvard University shows that a high omega-6 ratio can raise the risk of heart disease, type 2 diabetes, and even Alzheimer's. These consequences do not strike suddenly like lightning, but rather accumulate like drops of water, slowly eroding the roof of a house until it collapses without warning. The good news is that the solution is simple. Start by replacing your cooking oil. Extra virgin olive oil acts like a skilled gardener, gently trimming away the roots of inflammation and helping the body maintain its natural balance. Pure ghee butter works like a protective shield, soothing the gut lining and calming oxidative stress. And if you want the simplest option, just boil or poach your eggs. That is the clean cooking method that preserves nutrients without adding new enemies into your system. Many families today have already chosen smarter, simpler breakfasts: boiled eggs with leafy greens, a few slices of avocado, and a piece of whole grain bread. It is more than a meal, it is a silent commitment to health. So, what kind of oil are you using to fry your eggs each morning? Share your answer in the comments so we can all learn together and help others avoid this small but dangerous mistake. However, oil is only part of the bigger picture. Even with healthy oils, the wrong food combinations with eggs can disrupt metabolic balance and make it harder to control blood sugar. In the next section, we will expose these seemingly reasonable pairings that can turn your breakfast into a silent threat, damaging your health every day. Mistake 2. Eating eggs with processed meat. For more than 20 years, Walter, a man in his 60s living in the Midwest, began every morning with 2 fried eggs and a few slices of crispy bacon. For him, it was the symbol of a true American breakfast, filling, energizing, and tied to countless everyday memories. Yet, hidden in that very routine was a sweet poison quietly damaging his body day after day. Processed meats like bacon, sausage, or ham are not simply meat. They are a mix of animal protein and a heavy load of preservatives such as sodium nitrate, used to keep the pink color and extend shelf life. Inside the body, sodium nitrate is no longer harmless. When exposed to high heat, it transforms into nitrosamines, a compound classified by the World Health Organization as a potential carcinogen. Beyond that, nitrates and sodium in processed meats act like silent gatekeepers, letting disease in. They raise blood pressure, damage blood vessel walls, disrupt metabolism, and strip away the natural benefits of eggs, a food that is otherwise nutrient-rich. Eating eggs with processed meat is like pouring pure water into a glass already tainted with poison. No matter how clean the water is, it becomes contaminated. Walter didn't realize this until his health symptoms became more noticeable. Tingling in his legs in the morning, fatigue despite a full night's sleep, and a dull, persistent backache. These symptoms didn't strike suddenly. They crept in slowly, like a small crack in the floor that seems harmless until it suddenly gives way. One day, while searching for answers to his declining health, he came across a video about the hidden dangers of processed meat at breakfast. It explained clearly that sodium nitrate acts like rust inside arteries, slowing circulation and increasing the risk of blockages. The effect is even worse when combined with eggs, as the pairing raises harmful LDL cholesterol and accelerates atherosclerosis and heart problems. That warning pushed Walter to change. From the very next day, he switched to boiling or lightly pan-searing eggs without oil, pairing them with roasted tomatoes, ripe avocado, steamed chickpeas, and lightly sautéed vegetables cooked in extra virgin olive oil. At first, he thought it would be hard to adjust, but within just 1 week, the changes were obvious. His mind felt sharper, the tingling in his limbs disappeared, and the morning fatigue lifted as if someone had opened a window to let light flood into a dark room. 3 weeks later, his routine checkup confirmed the transformation. His blood pressure had stabilized, his LDL cholesterol dropped slightly, and most importantly, he felt alive again, no longer just existing as he had before. Walter's story is a quiet yet powerful reminder. Sometimes, to be healthier, you don't have to change everything. You only need to change the one habit that is silently harming you every single day. But the story doesn't end here. Even if you eliminate processed meat from breakfast, there is still another common habit that seems harmless yet continues to erode your health each morning. Mistake 3. Eating eggs the same way every day. In many American households, breakfast with fried eggs, white bread, and a bit of butter has become almost a daily ritual for years. It is quick, convenient, and easy to eat. But this very repetition quietly creates a cycle that slowly pulls health down, one day at a time. When you eat eggs prepared the same way every day without variation, the body gradually slips into deficiencies, lacking fiber, vitamins, and essential minerals needed for digestion, circulation, and metabolism. It is like a field planted with only one crop year after year. The soil becomes depleted and plants cannot thrive. Our bodies are no different. Without variety at breakfast, the body is no longer supplied with the full range of nutrients required to sustain overall health. The consequences, though subtle at first, soon become clear. Ongoing constipation, fatigue even after sufficient sleep, and rising levels of harmful cholesterol often go unnoticed. Especially in middle age, when digestion slows and micronutrient absorption declines, a low-fiber, vitamin-poor breakfast is like a machine running out of fuel, dragging along and wearing down without a clear cause. A study from the American Institute of Clinical Nutrition found that people who regularly varied their breakfast, mixing eggs with vegetables, whole grains, and fruit, maintained more stable cholesterol, reported less morning fatigue, and had stronger digestive health after just 3 months. These are not just numbers. They serve as a quiet warning to those who remain rigidly loyal to the same fixed meal every day. So what is the solution? It is not about giving up eggs. It is about making sure eggs are not wearing the same outfit every day. Imagine if every morning you wore the same shirt, the same pair of shoes, and listened to the same song. How would you feel after a week? Bored, uninspired, drained of energy. Your body feels the same way. When it receives the exact same meal on repeat, it no longer absorbs nutrients with enthusiasm and gradually loses flexibility in its metabolism. Instead, redesign your breakfast with eggs. You can start the week with boiled eggs served alongside oatmeal and flax seeds, a combination that helps stabilize blood sugar and provides fiber to feed healthy gut bacteria. By Wednesday, turn your kitchen into a stage with a vegetable omelet. Juicy red tomatoes, fresh green spinach, thinly sliced purple onions, and just a touch of melted cheese. It is both delicious and a great way to add vitamin A, vitamin C, and iron. On weekends, when you have more time, try baking small, colorful egg muffins that are convenient to carry when heading out. And if you want a touch of natural sweetness to begin the day, pair eggs with berries such as blueberries and strawberries along with a few walnuts. These are good friends of the heart, rich in antioxidants that reduce inflammation, stabilize cholesterol, and slow the aging process. The benefits do not stop there. When you rotate the way you prepare eggs and combine them with wholesome foods, your morning energy lasts longer. Your digestion runs smoothly like a well-oiled machine. Your skin looks brighter and fresher, and those mid-morning cravings start to disappear. This is the simplest way to protect heart health while keeping your mind sharp and your mood uplifted each day. Many people have already embraced this and call it the breakfast revolution. It is not complicated, not expensive, yet the results become clear within just a few weeks. A lighter stomach, a clearer mind, and a heart that feels refueled are the rewards you will notice. And who knows, simply by getting creative with eggs each week, you may discover new joy in your kitchen and in your journey toward a healthier life. Do you change up your egg recipes each week? Share your favorite breakfast ideas in the comments. Your ideas could be the very motivation someone else needs to begin their own path to better health, starting with the first meal of the day. Mistake 4. Storing eggs the wrong way. For many middle-aged adults, eggs are an essential part of the daily menu, not only for their high nutritional value, but also for their convenience, speed, and ease of preparation. Yet behind this seemingly harmless habit, improper storage of eggs can become a ticking time bomb for health, especially at an age when the body no longer has the same defenses it once did. Many households keep egg cartons on the refrigerator door. It seems logical, easy to see, easy to grab. But in reality, this is the most unstable spot in the fridge, where temperatures rise and fall every time the door is opened. For eggs, as fragile as a dry leaf in an autumn breeze, this fluctuation is enough to weaken the natural protective coating on the shell, making it easier for bacteria to slip inside. Another common habit is leaving eggs out for hours with the idea of putting them in the fridge later or using them tomorrow anyway. But this is like placing an ice cube under the sun, just waiting to melt. Within just 2 hours at room temperature, salmonella, the hidden culprit behind countless cases of food poisoning, can begin multiplying. And for older adults, the consequences are far more serious than brief stomach upset. They include days of dehydration, loss of sleep, and in many cases, complications that can become life-threatening. Think of the digestive system in middle age as an old machine. In youth, it could handle small errors with ease. But as the years pass, even minor mistakes can create disruptive clanking noises that throw the whole system off balance. Improperly stored eggs can silently contribute to unexplained back pain, prolonged bloating, or persistent indigestion. The good news is that one simple adjustment makes a big difference. Store eggs in the middle shelf of the refrigerator, where the temperature is most stable, typically between 32 degrees F and 39 degrees F, 0 degrees to 4 degrees. This safe zone keeps nutrients intact and blocks bacterial growth. Keep eggs in their original carton, since shells can easily absorb odors and microbes from other foods if left exposed. And never wash eggs before refrigerating, as this strips away the thin natural barrier that nature designed to protect them. What you just heard is not simply a kitchen warning, but a conclusion backed by serious scientific research around the world. One of the clearest alerts comes from the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, which reports that every year in America there are as many as 79,000 cases of food poisoning linked to eggs, with 30 deaths caused by seemingly harmless storage habits. The main culprit is Salmonella enteritidis. It has no color, no smell, no taste, yet it is powerful enough to disrupt the entire immune system once it enters the body. This risk is especially severe for middle-aged and older adults, as stomach acid production and immune response both decline with age, making it easier for pathogens that a younger body could resist to cause harm. A study published in the Journal of Food Protection showed that after just 2 hours at room temperature, salmonella levels in eggs can increase tenfold. And if eggs are kept in the refrigerator door, where temperatures fluctuate between 46 degrees Fahrenheit and 54 degrees Fahrenheit, 8 degrees to 12 degrees with every opening, the chance of bacterial growth is 3 times higher compared to eggs stored on the middle shelf of the refrigerator. Further evidence from the International Food Safety Institute at Kansas State University revealed that salmonella-contaminated eggs that are not fully cooked can lead to severe complications such as meningitis, sepsis, and chronic irritable bowel syndrome, particularly common in people over 55. These conditions may progress silently over weeks, with patients mistaking symptoms for ordinary bloating until it becomes too late. That is why proper egg storage is not a matter of a few extra degrees of cold or placing them wherever is convenient. It is an active step in protecting the body from one of the most dangerous and unpredictable threats in daily nutrition. A small action, like placing eggs in the correct part of the refrigerator, is a clear message that says, "This health I value." Distinguishing the effects of eating eggs in healthy individuals versus those with underlying conditions. Eggs are a nutrient-dense food, providing high-quality protein, vitamins A, D, E, B12, choline, and essential minerals. However, their impact on cardiovascular health differs greatly between healthy individuals and those with underlying conditions, such as heart disease, type 2 diabetes, hypercholesterolemia, or high blood pressure. Recognizing these differences is key to adjusting intake and preparation methods to reduce the risk of complications. In healthy individuals, the body usually has the ability to regulate cholesterol effectively. Although each egg contains about 186 milligrams of cholesterol, the liver can adjust endogenous cholesterol production to maintain balance in blood cholesterol levels. Research shows that in people without heart disease or diabetes, consuming 1 to 3 eggs per day as part of a balanced diet does not significantly raise heart disease risk. Eggs also provide choline, which protects brain function, and lutein and zeaxanthin, which support eye health. However, even in healthy individuals, cooking methods matter. Frying eggs in excess oil or pairing them with bacon or sausage introduces high levels of saturated fat and sodium, which can increase the risk of atherosclerosis. For this group, the best approach is boiling, steaming, or light pan-searing with minimal oil, while combining eggs with vegetables and whole grains to maximize benefits. In individuals with underlying conditions. For those with cardiovascular disease, type 2 diabetes, or elevated cholesterol, the body's ability to regulate lipids and blood sugar is impaired. A diet high in cholesterol and saturated fat can rapidly raise LDL, bad cholesterol, and triglycerides while lowering HDL, good cholesterol. This promotes chronic inflammation within artery walls, accelerates plaque formation, and narrows coronary arteries. In patients with diabetes, the combination of high blood sugar and high cholesterol damages the endothelium even faster, sharply increasing the risk of heart attack. Some studies have shown that in people with diabetes, frequent egg consumption, more than 7 eggs per week, especially when eggs are prepared with added oils and paired with sodium-rich processed meats, may be linked to higher cardiovascular risk. In short, eggs can be part of a heart-healthy diet, but preparation methods, portion size, and the individual's health status determine whether they act as a friend or a hidden threat to long-term heart health. People with underlying conditions often need medications such as cholesterol-lowering drugs, blood thinners, or antihypertensives. Some of these medications can affect lipid metabolism, so eating too many eggs adds extra strain on the cardiovascular system. For this group, the usual recommendation is to limit whole eggs to 3 to 4 per week. Prioritize egg whites since they provide protein with almost no cholesterol, and focus on pairing eggs with vegetables and healthy oils such as olive oil, while minimizing saturated fats from animal sources. Beyond cardiovascular effects, it is also important to distinguish the long-term impact of eggs on the brain in these two groups. In healthy individuals, choline in eggs supports the production of acetylcholine, a neurotransmitter critical for memory and focus. In contrast, in people with underlying conditions such as hypertension or diabetes, blood vessels in the brain are more vulnerable to damage. A diet consistently high in cholesterol and unhealthy fats can narrow or block small cerebral vessels, raising the risk of cognitive decline or dementia over time. Another key difference is the body's ability to recover after vascular injury. Healthy individuals with temporary changes in blood lipids can often restore balance quickly through diet and exercise. In contrast, those with underlying conditions experience damage that progresses silently and is harder to reverse, meaning dietary mistakes, even with nutrient-rich foods like eggs, can leave more severe and lasting consequences. In summary, eggs are not the direct villain, but their impact depends on how they are consumed and the individual's baseline health. Healthy individuals can eat eggs more regularly if prepared in heart-healthy ways and combined with a balanced lifestyle. People with underlying conditions, however, must carefully control intake, use cooking methods low in added fats, reduce cholesterol from other dietary sources, and follow medical treatment to protect the heart. Recognizing this distinction is not only essential for personal dietary adjustment, but also a key strategy in preventing and managing heart disease and stroke safely and effectively. There are things in life where just a small adjustment can make a real difference. And often, good health at 60 or 70 does not come from expensive medications, but from paying close attention to the smallest details in your own kitchen. Are you keeping your eggs in a safe place? Open your refrigerator right now and take a look, because while we cannot control aging, we can control how we take care of ourselves each day. Thank you for staying with me until the very end of today's video. Together, we have gone through 4 common mistakes related to eating eggs that many people still make without realizing. Remember, eggs are a valuable source of nutrition, but it is the small daily habits repeated over time that silently erode health and affect your heart in the long run. If today's information helped you discover something useful for yourself or your family, do not hesitate to hit like, share this video with loved ones over 60 who still keep the habit of eating eggs every morning, and subscribe to the channel to stay updated with reliable medical knowledge for midlife health. In the next videos, we will continue to explore simple but effective ways to protect your heart, keep your mind sharp, and live stronger every day. Turn on the notification bell now because health is the most valuable asset we have, and time will never wait for us.